So a shot of the bridge going into Mississippi from Louisiana. This is a view of the sunrise. A quick little tour of our campsite. These are our neighbors. Our little canopy, dog pen. Our other neighbors, which we met last night, they're pretty nice. They're from Ohio. Our little rover. Picnic table. Right there is the Mississippi River. Here comes Fred. There we go. There's Fred. We are going to the NATCHEZ Visitor Center this morning, and we're going to go do a tour of the town of NATCHEZ. Apparently, before the Civil War, half of the country's millionaires lived in NATCHEZ, and many of those mansions are still there, and they have preserved them to remember the time before the Civil War. So we're going to go take a look at that. Hopefully we can get some pictures. If anyone tells you that there are no alligators in the Mississippi River, we know differently. I am surprised that there is an alligator right there. I did not imagine or really think about alligators being in the Mississippi River. But there he is. So we are actually standing on the Louisiana side, and as you look across the river, you're looking at Mississippi. This is the bridge that takes you into Mississippi. And as we scroll back around, this is our campsite. And our little rover is right there. There's our truck and our rover. A beautiful city walk along the river. So we are staying at Riverview RV Park in Louisiana. We had reservations at NATCHEZ State Park. And we went there first yesterday. It's about 30 minutes from here, if that. It was okay. We would have stayed there, but someone was in our camping spot. They hadn't left yet. We were there a little early. So we went into NATCHEZ to get gas and to eat lunch. And I said, well, you know, we do have reservations at this Riverview RV Park too. It was our backup plan. Let's go check it out. So we pulled into Riverview RV Park, and it looks like it's a lot nicer than NATCHEZ State Park. It is a lot nicer. So we decided to stay here. It has a really nice restroom facility that we used last night to shower. The laundry facilities are all in a little air-conditioned room. They have a little gift store inside. They have a swimming pool. The sites have concrete pads. And the breeze. Did I mention the breeze? The breeze coming off of this river is amazing. It actually lifted our tent canopy up last night. So the breeze here in the summertime is reason alone to choose Riverview RV Park over NATCHEZ State Park. The NATCHEZ State Park site was tucked in some trees, which the shade would have been good, but I don't believe there would have been a breeze there. So we're very pleased with this site. This is a shot of the pool. So I'm standing at the river walk, or the city walk, filming this, and I just turned around and now you're seeing the view of the pool, actually. There's the pool right in front of the building that has the showers, the laundry, the office, the little gift store. A really nice lounge area even. It's very nice here, very well kept. I guess this is a private RV park, and you can tell that someone loves this park, and they really take good care of it. They come around every morning at 11 and pick up your garbage. There's full hookups here. And it's not very crowded. This is Monday morning. So that might be why it's not very crowded, but it's not. Okay, so this is the bridge. We're going into the town of NATCHEZ this morning. I was telling Fred that I got a shot of an alligator and told him I was a little surprised that the alligators were in the Mississippi River. But he reminded me that we're in Louisiana.
Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
And this is the home of Troy Landry, the famous alligator hunter. What does Troy say?
Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
So of course there's going to be alligators in the Mississippi River. This is the home of Troy. This is a beautiful bridge.
At the stop sign, turn left.
So we're going to go to the NATCHEZ Visitor Center. Stop sign, turn left. So we're now in Mississippi.
Getting you a ticket on a little big open golf court to tour the city. It's about a 45 minute, 6-minute, or 60-minute ride. Would you like to do that?
No, because what if it's in the direct sun?
Well, it's covered. It has a top on it. It's open on the side.
I will only do it if you do it too.
Can't take the dogs.
I know, but you do it first, then I do it. That's the only way I'll do it, is if you do it too. I'm not going to be the only one to do it.
You're going.
Okay. Go. Okay, well, how was it? Tell me about the visitor center.
It's all right, but you got to get on that little cart. I want to take your bottle of water.
What little cart?
See the little golf cart up there?
Yeah?
That's what you're riding to tour the city.
Oh. I need my sunglasses.
Get them.
Dear me.
$20 a person if you're going. I'm going to give you 30. I have to give you 40.
Moved to New Orleans so he could run from there to St. Louis and make more money. How many of you have ever heard of the great steamboat race between the NATCHEZ and the Robert E. Lee?
Yep.
Okay. Let me tell
Myrtle
you how that
Terrace.
happened. In 1869, when they delivered NATCHEZ number 7 to Captain Leathers down in New Orleans, the crew that brought it from Cincinnati told him that they had broken the old delivery record. He decided he needed to move down here and keep an eye on his money.
Stanton Hall.
So he came down here on several trips and bought this beautiful city, this whole city block sitting on this ridge. And this was part of that ridge I was telling you about earlier that runs through town. Yeah. And this was probably one of the highest points, but he liked it because it would make the house look bigger sitting up high. Yeah. And these trees were about half the size they are now, and these beautiful live oaks.
So we're just now starting on the NATCHEZ Trace Parkway. Here we go. We did the open air tour around downtown Natchez. It was 60 minutes long. It cost $20 a person. They let us take our little dogs on the cart with us. It was very interesting. We saw a lot of the old homes, and the lady that did the tour, she was quite the historian. She had a lot of really interesting stories that she shared with us, so we enjoyed that very much. Was there one story that you remember more than any of the others, Fred?
I like the story about the preacher's house.
What about the preacher's house? Oh, he was real old and he married that young girl.
Yeah.
And they never consummated the marriage, and she had parties. Do you remember?
And they built the subterranean floor in the house.
Right, for them to live, right? That was a pretty interesting story.
And then the big house overlooking the river.
Oh yeah, there was
got the breeze, the river breeze.
There was the big house that overlooked the river, and they positioned it just right so the wind came like a funnel down the river, and it was the coolest spot in Natchez. It was cool. She parked the cart there, and you could definitely feel the breeze coming off the river. I think I got it. So one thing about the Natchez Trace Parkway is the speed limit is 50 miles per hour, and they do not allow trucks on this roadway. And this is pretty famous for bicyclists. There are 3 campgrounds along the trace that you can stay in. They don't have electric or water hookups at these campgrounds, but you can stay there, and they look to be pretty nice. We probably would have stayed there had it not been so hot, but right now we have got to have the electric hookup for the air conditioner. But in the wintertime, we definitely would have stayed at one of these, or all 3 of these parks. So Fred just made a comment that this is pretty much what it's like the entire 422 miles, I think it is.
44.
444 miles, right. And it's very scenic. That's what it is. It's a scenic parkway. And when you look to either side, it's forest. Your imagination can go wild thinking about this forest and how back in Civil War days and pre-Civil War days, people used to go up and down through these woods. They probably had little paths that they had carved out for travelways. So we don't know exactly what this is, but it says Old Trace. We're gonna go check it out. It said something about the portion behind you is a section of the old trail. So I guess we're gonna walk up here and see if we can see it. Being from Florida, I don't really know what poison ivy and poison oak looks like. And
down there.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm kind of afraid to walk through that. What do you think?
That's good. We'll keep going.
Okay, so we are at Emerald Mound. Mile marker 10.4. We were by. So this is an old ritual site. Let's go over here and see what it says. Before you is the second largest temple mound in the United States. Let's see. It's an 8-acre mound constructed from a natural hill. It was built and used from about 1300 to 1600 by the Mississippians, ancestors of the Natchez Indians. Unlike dome-shaped mounds constructed only for burials, emerald mounds supported temples, ceremonial structures, and burials of a complex society's civic and religious leaders. National Park Service. Oh, pretty cool. But this is about all you can see right here. Some placards. Nice place to let the dogs stretch their legs. So through the gate, you can walk up this little path and go to the top of the mound. Okay, so check this out. So we made it to the top. There's the car down there. Then, it's beautiful up here. My dog is pulling me. These dogs are a handful. It's like having a toddler.
This road is consists of shaded canopy overhanging limbs over the road, make it very shady and cool.
It does. It's really nice, especially during the summertime.
Pretty.
Look at all the shade.
This would be a great motorcycle ride.
It sure would be. Well, and look at the bicycles. Even if you're a bicyclist, this would be great for one. So this parkway was built alongside the original foot trail.
Likely, and it could be, the original trail could be even a mile off to one side or the other of the road. So the actual paved parkway follows the trail, but not exactly on top of the trail, I believe.
And our next stop is a place where we can actually get out and see the actual trail, right?
Yes.
Sunken Trace. Preserved here is a portion of the deeply eroded or sunken Old Trace. Hardships of journeying on the Old Trace included heat, which I can understand that, mosquitoes, poor food, hard beds, if any, disease, swollen rivers, and sucking swamps.
Here.
Take 5 minutes to walk this sunken trail and let your imagination carry you back to the early 1800s when people walking 500 miles had to put up with these discomforts and where a broken leg or arm could spell death for the lone traveler. Okay, so we will go this direction. You see my dog sled team here. We've got the leader of the pack going off to the side. They're not very well trained dog sled. So this is quite a steep incline. Fred was kind enough to take both dogs for a second, which, believe me, that is nice. So they say that this is sunken because it's like foot worn, right? Is that
Wagons,
wagons,
foot traffic.
foot traffic?
Good place to get ambushed by bandits and marauders.
Because people would go, they would take the Mississippi River to sell their goods, and then they would have to go against the current to come back the Mississippi River, so they would walk back. And as they were walking back, people knew that they were loaded down with money, right, from selling all their goods. And so they probably would get ambushed.
That happened.
All you'll be able to hear in the video is Lily's dog breath. And a few birds.
Come back here.
Actually, if you had to walk along this trail with it sunken in, I mean, there's not much breeze, but it feels like it's pretty cool, doesn't it? I mean, it feels cool down here. There's no sun.
Yeah, it would be. And mosquitoes would be very bad, probably.
Mosquitoes, yeah. So this is kind of odd. I'm not sure what this is. The trail forks off here. I wonder if it meets around and
Could have.
it just forks off at this big tree. It's interesting. Shall I edit that out?
You can't attribute that to me.
What?
The dog did that.
Oh.
Lily. Come on, Lily. You need to do some editing on that.
Oh, nope. I'm not going to.
You didn't pick up that little eruption, did it?
It did, and it also picked up this about you asking me to edit it out. I didn't realize the camera was on, but it is.
You did what?
I didn't realize the camera was on, but it is. It's on right now. And
Okay.
you're asking me to edit that little piece out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Sunken Trace is a short trail through a deeply eroded section of the original trace. So we just noticed all this corn. There's fields and fields of corn. Look at all this corn. So we got off the Trace Parkway at about mile marker 40, and we're headed into Port Gibson to see if we can find somewhere to eat lunch. It's about 12:15 on a Monday. So we made a quick stop into Sonic to grab a little lunch, and we were happy to find it, very happy to find it. These little towns are, there's not much to them, so it's a big deal to run into a Sonic. Right, sweetheart?
That's right.
Fred's making notes. What are you making notes of, baby?
Our progress.
Making notes of our progress. Fred is a copious note taker. Aren't you, baby?
I am. Nope, taking food.
So this is Owens Creek Waterfall. So that was Owens Creek Waterfall at mile marker 52.4, and our next stop is Rocky Springs at mile marker 54.8. Did you like the Owens Creek Waterfall? Oh, Rocky Springs, 1 mile. Did you like the Owens Creek Waterfall?
That was,
Riveting.
yes, it was a close competition for Niagara Falls. Or the next best thing.
Okay, so we just drove through Rocky Springs Campground, and we are all for primitive camping. We've done it several times, and this is pretty primitive back through here, so not a lot of luxuries. It's probably in need of some TLC. So Fred turned off the main course, and we are going down this little dirt road. He has taken the road less traveled.
I think it just makes it look. It just makes it look likely.
Maybe. We're driving down the road and Fred's low tire light came on. We pulled over and this just happened. You can see the nail in it. and we can hear the air coming out. So could have been a lot worse. So we're gonna sit here and change this tire real quick. We have pulled over into a church parking lot, just on the outside of NATCHEZ. Okay, baby, so you want to talk about what just happened?
Oh, had to change a flat tire.
How'd that go? Hot as hell?
Hot as hell.
But you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, we're back on the road.
Good job. So this has been a little adventure for us. We went on Google and we searched for NATCHEZ automotive repair. We found a couple places.
What'd you say?
Keep going straight. Oh, you're going to turn left up here at the light. Walmart, they did have a big automotive center,
At
but
the light, turn left.
they
Turn left.
weren't helping anyone. They were closed. So Firestone to the rescue. We've called them and they're open, but it's 5 o'clock and they did say it'd be after 6 before they could fix our tire. So we'll be here for a little while, but I'm grateful that we can at least
You've
have
entered the
someone
parking lot
fix
for your
it.
destination.
Where?
Head southwest.
Okay, so you might see Fred is not here. We did stop at Firestone, and he took the tire out of the back, and they said that it's against their policy because it was too close to the edge. I looked at it, and it looked to be a good inch or more away from the edge. So, and so then he agreed to buy a new tire because that's what they wanted him to do, but they didn't have the tires that he needed for his truck. So he said, forget it. What else was he going to do, really? So we put the tire back in the car, and now we're going to take our chances. So we are going to be driving around with one tire that has a nail in it. But when we get to Vicksburg, if we can find a place to fix it, we will. Otherwise, we get another flat tire, we're going to call AAA. He's a AAA member, so we could have done that anyway. It just would have taken a lot longer. So now I am sitting in the parking lot at Fat Tamales or Fat Mamas, and they are supposed to be famous in NATCHEZ for their tamales. I don't think I've ever even had a tamale. So Fred is in there using his best judgment on what to order. Wearing a face mask in NATCHEZ is mandatory right now, and so we do have the 2 dogs with us. If you can see Lucy in the back window. So one of us needs to stay in the car with them. So we're making this work with the little puppies, as we love them and we want them to be comfortable and we want them with us. So we make it work, and I'll keep you posted on how these tamales are. Maybe they are as good as they say.
Roll on, Mississippi.
What is that song? Keep singing it.
That's all I know.
What do you know?
Roll on, Mississippi.
What's that song? Mississippi River, won't you keep on shining on me? Isn't that a song? What's it? Oh, black water, keep on rolling, Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on? Oh, black water, keep on rolling, Mississippi queen.
It's our turn here, yep.
Isn't that the song? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? You never heard that song?
I've heard that song, but I'm not sure which. I think you might have it confused and mixed up.
I'm sure I do. So, this is going into our RV park, a little campground. It's not the best neighborhood going in. So you cross that beautiful bridge and you turn down Martin Luther King Avenue. And you kind of see another side of Louisiana. I want to let you see that a little bit. Cute little church. Okay, so here are the tamales. So Fred went in and the menu was a little limited. So they didn't have like beans and rice like he thought that they would. So our dinner, we got, what'd you get, baby?
Tamales,
How many?
a dozen.
So what kind of tamales are they?
I think they're beef.
So we got a dozen beef tamales. So we're gonna have tamales and beer. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Unwrap them from that.
Huh?
Take the corn husk off of that.
So you take the corn husks off and you eat them. I don't know which looks better, the tamales or the beer. So hot tamales and sauce and beer. How are they?
Quite good.
So you would recommend, what's the name of that place?
Fat Mamas.
And you would recommend it?
Oh yeah.
Hey girls. Hey Lucy. I think they're glad to be back at the campsite. I know Fred's glad. He's had quite a day out in this heat, changing the tire and dealing with all that. I think he's pretty well exhausted. Okay, so it's Monday night around 7 o'clock. We've had our dinner. We're getting ready to settle in for the evening. I might jump in the pool for a minute to cool off, and I know that we have a load of laundry that we have to do, but I wanted to get a shot of the Mississippi River again. We'll be leaving tomorrow and moving on to Poverty Point State Park. But we'll be there for 3 nights and we'll be touring Vicksburg. We had a great day today, despite a few minor issues. It was a great day. We got about 87 miles done of the NATCHEZ Trace Parkway. That was a lot of fun. So tomorrow, when we pull out and head to Poverty Point, we will pick back up on the NATCHEZ Trace Parkway where we pulled off today. So we're going to try to do the whole thing all the way to Nashville and stop at all the sites that are on the brochure that they say are pretty significant to see. So I hope you can come along with us and enjoy this trip. I love doing these videos because it kind of preserves the memories for us. So I'm hopeful that in future years I will look back on these videos and just really be grateful that we took the time to produce them. They're a lot of fun and I do enjoy it. The Mississippi River is beautiful and I'm so glad we're at this site and right on the Mississippi River like this. It's great.